Unemployment, unemployment, unemployment. Hey guys, in this video I'll be sharing one of the things I've been struggling with, and I think it's relevant for a lot of people, especially fresh graduates like me. Unemployment, fresh graduate edition. But first, where am I in life right now? Well, last year I graduated university, yay, and I finally got my degree in chemical engineering. That's probably for another video, but lo and behold, the pandemic came. In the middle of August 2020, I finally started looking for jobs. So I worked on my resume, I made a LinkedIn account, I sent my resume to a bunch of companies here and there. And if I can in one word describe the job hunting process for me, it's humbling. Job hunting is one of those adulting experiences that can take a hit on your self-esteem, especially if you didn't really graduate with flying colors in school, if you weren't stellar in school, or if you didn't finish school. So it gets really, really tough. And I wasn't the worst student in university. I mean, I got above average grades and a bunch of leadership experiences, which, by the way, is very important. So one advice I would give to college students really is to grab as much leadership opportunities as you can. But despite those decent, I would say, achievements, I still don't get noticed by most recruiters. So besides not having a 10 out of 10 portfolio, I basically lacked experience and skills. And I think the greatest disadvantage of being a fresh graduate is the lack of relevant experience. Basically, basic. Ironically and unfortunately, a lot of entry-level jobs require like 2 years at least of experience. And I'm like, bruh. Can anybody explain to me how I am going to get experience if nobody will hire me? And they're very specific on the skill sets and experiences that they need their candidate to have. So me just graduating college literally with only 2 months of internship experience, no stellar standout achievements, and my skill set was pretty raw, pretty basic. So naturally, most of the job applications I would send would get ignored. How in the world would I stand out in a sea of applicants? I didn't even get enough interviews to get enough rejections. You know what I mean? Check my email regularly, nope, nothing. And days and weeks would go on like this, and it's just a horrible process to go through. And it's not like new job openings come every day, right? And when they do come, you might not even be qualified for them. And when you are qualified, you might have to compete with a bunch of other applicants who just might be more qualified and more experienced than you. So it's very tempting to just give up, to just settle for any companies that you don't even like, positions you don't even want to work for, just to get a job because you feel like the job hunting process is never going to end, like you're never going to get a job, especially in this situation. You'd start to feel desperate, any job would do. I'm not going to be picky at this point anymore. But you have to be careful because it's usually a long-term commitment. It's so tempting to just be in a slump, to just hold a pity party for yourself, to start sulking.
I'll never be good enough, I'll never find a job, I'll never get hired, and all that blah blah blah.
Is there anything else I can do but to wait? And then you just feel down in the dumps, and job hunting would be a very difficult thing to do because every time you do it and every time you get nothing, it just reminds you of how unqualified and how helpless you feel you are. So one day I just snapped. I've been trying my best to be patient and waiting on God and everything and spending time with God. And in spending time with the Lord, I had peace. But then whenever I would put my guard down, whenever I don't spend enough time with God, I just go back again to the worried state. I get that feeling again. I get overwhelmed. I feel anxious. I feel stressed. I feel hopeless again. I feel like I have no future. So that same day when I snapped, I told God, I cried out to Him, Lord, why?
Lord, why do you keep saying no to me? Why is it always a no? Why can't I get a yes? Why is nothing happening in my life? Why am I not moving? Why is this so long? Lord, I don't want to wait anymore.
It took me weeks to get over this mindset, this attitude, and God taught me a lot in those weeks, and I'm so grateful. Of course, deep down, I knew that there was more to all these discouragements, disappointments, and worries I was having. But that time, I was so done. Like, I cried and I hated God for a solid 10 minutes. But I wasn't getting any hate or anger or disappointment in his side, in God's side. I felt him just there, listening to me, not disappointed, not angry, not surprised, not invalidating my feelings, not getting offended because I was hating on him for 10 minutes. He was there. He was just there with me. Later that day, before I went to sleep, I read my Bible and I was in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 that night. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verses 16 to 18. Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Okay. And it hit home because I did feel like I was outwardly wasting away. I'm feeling anxious, I feel helpless, impatient, not good enough, my motivation is running out, my self-esteem is hitting rock bottom, I'm getting more overwhelmed, but I am being renewed day by day. I'm still fighting and I'm still surviving up to this point. I'm being transformed in my faith more than I can possibly imagine. I'm being transformed in my perseverance, in my attitude, in my priorities, in what really matters, in what matters now. What I'm seeing now, the lack of job opportunities, the lack of anything happening in my life, and the uncertain future created by the pandemic, these are indeed temporary. But my fighting spirit, my pushing through, my staying firm in the faith, my continuous reliance on God, these are the things that will last forever. These are the things that will not be taken away from me regardless of the situation. These are the things that I need in order to thrive and to finish my race. When I look away from Jesus, what I see is the lack of job opportunities, the life-threatening pandemic and all its restrictions, the fierce competition in the job hunting scene, the lack of relevant skills that I possess, the thought of other people's probably non-existent expectations on me, doing my best and my best not being good enough, and just the devastating lack of control I have over my situation. But when I fix my eyes on Jesus, I see that God is in control, that He will not fail to provide, that as long as I obey Him, that as long as I do whatever He has impressed in my heart to do, as long as I keep being patient and just keep praying, things will work out for my good and my needs will be met. When I fix my eyes on Jesus, I see that my competence comes from God, and He's the one who qualifies me and equips me according to His will. So whatever is for me will get to me, and God will always come through the way He always does. So if you're like me experiencing this, what should we do? First, acknowledge that job hunting in itself is a difficult thing to do, and job hunting as a fresh graduate with barely any relevant experience is even harder. And job hunting in a global pandemic, in a country where it seems like it just keeps getting worse, that is just insane. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself over it just because you're not getting job opportunities yet. Rest if you're already mentally exhausted. Take breaks. Use this time to prepare even more and to explore even more potential options. Beef up your resume by taking short courses online. Improve your existing skill sets. And if you find a niche or a specialization, then focus on that. Every time you read job descriptions, every time you take assessments, every time you get an interview, even though you get rejected or ghosted, you learn something new, and your accumulated knowledge will help you build your profile. Keep exploring the waters so you can slowly build an idea of where your career will be heading towards in the future, what kind of jobs or even businesses that you would want to pursue in the long run. Also, don't lose belief in yourself. If you're not going to believe in yourself, who's going to see your worth? How are you supposed to sell your profile to employers? How can you convince other people to believe in you when you don't even believe in yourself? And don't, and I mean don't, compare yourself or your progress to others. We have different playing fields here, so celebrate their victories, their achievements, but don't shrink down your own. Don't make their scale your scale. We have different definitions and versions of success, and we have different timelines. And just a reminder, your life is not when you get a job. Your life is now. While you still got time, pursue the things that you want to pursue. Reconnect with your hobbies and interests. Maybe you'll even discover a new career path for you. Enjoy the time you can get enough sleep and you don't have to wake up to an alarm clock. Spend more time with God. You'll be clamoring for these things when you're already busy working. There's a reason why God is probably saying not yet. Maybe He's protecting you from a risky on-site job. Maybe you need more time to prepare and to gather up more skills. Maybe you're just not ready to enter into a 40 hours per week stressful working environment while the world is falling apart. Maybe there's a future job offer that will be perfect for you and the situation by then would be better. Maybe if you got a job now out of sheer impatience and panic, you'll miss the job that was actually meant for you. Maybe God is asking you to do something for Him first. Probably something you've been putting off for a while now. In my case, it's this channel. Maybe you need to get right with God first. Maybe you need to learn how to put Him first. Maybe you need to spend more time with Him in prayer, in scripture, and in worship. Maybe God is trying to teach you valuable lessons in patience and perseverance that you will be needing in your future endeavors. Now we have to trust God. We have to trust God because He's the one who sees the big picture of things. He knows things that we don't know. In Isaiah chapter 55 verses 8 to 9 we can read, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." God knows what we need, and He listens to our prayers. He will direct our steps. So to anyone out there having the same dilemma, regardless of your qualifications or lack thereof, regardless of your situation, remember that the job that is meant for you will get to you. I tell that to myself too. In the meantime, just make the best out of your time. Don't forget to rest and to have fun. Appreciate what you do have now. Keep pushing, keep striving. Don't lose hope, okay? Don't lose hope. And most importantly, spend time with God. Pray, study His Word, bond with Jesus. Seek God first, and everything else that you need will be added unto you. Even your heart's desires that are aligned with God's will. It doesn't matter how impossible things feel right now. Remember that your competence comes from God, and He's the one who qualifies you. So keep preparing, keep persevering, and keep praying. Fighting! Please subscribe to this channel if you want to see more, and if you were inspired by this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!